Friday, and who's my guest today? No one except the great Traci Parisi. Hello. Yes, I didn't start happy hour early. Traci, welcome to Jersey Talk Radio. You're on the air.
Can I speak?
Yeah, I hope so.
You told me not to speak until I spoke to.
Well, you are being spoken to, even though I don't call you by your correct name.
Yeah.
So, welcome to the inaugural broadcasting as a co-host. And you will be co-hosting. What is it if there's three? Is it a tri-host or a toast?
A triost.
Triost. Ah, very interesting. Never heard that term
today's
before.
Friday the 13th. Did you know that?
Ah, there you go. Now we're talking. So, what is your feelings about Friday the 13th? Are you superstitious?
No.
Or suspicious?
I am, but
are you
suspicious? I'm
suspicious?
suspicious, but not superstitious.
So we are ringing out the various details here at the studio and working on some technical issues and some logistic
issues.
Okay. Traci has already destined our leather chairs to another more useful purpose than here at the studio because they're too high.
I'm going to bring a chair in.
Well, I only brought high ones in for people that were vertically challenged, and
maybe
it didn't work.
Handles.
Well, sidearms. So it needs to be a lot lower.
Yeah.
Well, there you go.
We'll figure it out.
We're going to ask for new chairs for Christmas.
There we go.
And hopefully it'll make a difference. But thank you for coming on. Tell us a little bit about what you're doing these days.
Well, I'm stopping by to see you with some soup today.
Yes, and the soup was chicken rice.
Chicken rice.
It was outstanding. Notwithstanding that I was so hungry I was getting ready to eat the table, but it was very
It's
good.
emergency soup.
It was wonderful. It was the best timing I've had for lunch all day.
Yeah. We're looking outside at the glass windows, which is beautiful, downtown.
Watching the heavy traffic
Downtown
here in
Flemington.
downtown Flemington and, historic Hunterdon County.
Not a great deal of pedestrian traffic, though.
Not a whole lot.
Traffic.
Yes.
Yeah.
And it's a beautiful day, although it is a little cooler and very windy.
Very gusty out.
Brilliantly clear. And we are due for some bad, windy weather this weekend.
Yes. We'll be missing Richard to give us the weather forecast.
Yes.
He does such a good job with that.
Well, we could call up the weather, but I don't want to hurt his feelings by leaving him out because he is the weather geek here until we find somebody else to.
He's the weather wonder.
The weather wonder, I'm sorry. Did I say weather geek? In any event, we actually ran a broadcast yesterday, another test, and we had Janet Madalena on.
How'd you do? You did that last night, right?
Yesterday afternoon. And like I said, I'm working on different configurations. We're trying to figure out what works the best. We have, you're going to help us on some studio decorating.
Of course.
Detailing. But we're hopefully going to be up on a daily basis next week. Mm-hmm. And, of course, everything we do is archived, so that's cool. People can grab it when it's convenient for them, not when it's convenient for us. Now,
this equipment sounds very good. Better
it's
than
getting
before. Better than before.
Yes, and that's what we hope to do.
Mo better.
Well, and we're in full HD, so that's cool on the video side. And the audio I'm going to try to have as high quality as CD quality audio so that we can not drive people off the road.
Where's the camera on you?
There isn't any camera on me.
Why not?
Because it's looking at my back, my best side.
Oh, and you have your T-shirt. Then you're going to have to turn your shirt on
Well,
backwards.
you know what? You're going to have one of our T-shirts to take with us. But I am promoting the Flemington Car and Truck Country Broadcast Center on the back of my shirt.
Excellent.
So that's one thing I have to set up as a monitor for
You're
the
like
town.
one of the wrapped cars, if you will.
No, the wrapped cars are worth a lot more
version.
than me. It's a big wrapper. I'm more like a wrapped truck, like a garbage truck, actually.
Those are a good idea, actually. Like, if you travel a lot, somebody like you travel a lot. You should apply for that.
Well, I looked into that a couple years ago, and I couldn't get any traction on it. But yeah, if you're traveling all over, why not? I could throw it on my car.
You drive all over the place.
I'm afraid I do. Do you know where I drove this week?
Truck. We should try
we should
and
look
sign
into
up
that.
for that. Yes.
Anything that would help.
Maybe Flemington Car.
As long as it's not like Summer's Eve or something. I'd rather not be driving around with that on my truck.
The big B.
Well, you never know.
Here we
go. Thank you very much. Thanks. That's just what I need. Some more bad press.
Start off to a good start.
That's okay. It's all right. So we are going to be hosting a show on entertainment. And the three of us, the Three Musketeers, our show is a lot of fun. we're not sure if it's fun for other people, but it's fun for us. So really,
yeah.
that's all that matters.
Absolutely.
At some point, you say, well, you know what? We're not offending anybody maliciously, and we're trying to have a good time. We talk about...
Be mean.
No, we're never mean. So we hope that other... And we got a lot of good feedback from our show in the past, so it's going to be fun.
Yes.
And we will reintroduce it. And what we really would like to do is take it on the road and do it on location, either at TGI Fridays or, you
it'll be
know,
fun.
Jake's or Country Griddle or wherever, and get the public who's our audience to come in and interact with us and sit down and chat and tell us who they are, where they're from. That kind of stuff is a lot of fun.
It is.
And everybody has a story to tell. And I think that's something that I'm really going to look forward to, that we can do.
Me too. I love
put up a
talking to
camera.
people.
Yeah, we put up a camera, the three of us, and we go do happy hour. So these are some of the things that I'd like to do. In the past, the interesting thing, and I don't want to start talking tech stuff, but this was never feasible before. No, this couldn't have been done. I mean, you could have if you had a ton of money. You're going to drag a broadcast truck out or a satellite truck. I mean, you just couldn't get the signal out. And who was going to listen to it anyway? Or you're going to pay one of the few radio stations in the area out of Easton, Allentown, or Trenton, or wherever, to come and do a remote every week. Not going to happen. It just wasn't feasible. Now, it's completely feasible. And not only are we going to broadcast, we're going to broadcast HD video.
Yep.
And FM quality sound. So
excellent.
So, what do you think about this perch? This is pretty cool, watching the traffic go by.
We can watch traffic, so you don't feel like you're locked in a building.
No.
We can see all the weather around us.
And they can throw tomatoes against the glass. Yeah, we can do the weather, saying, well, it's right on the other side of the glass.
And you're going to put a microphone out there, right? So we can talk to people.
I think we might put a talkback thing, like an intercom. Yeah, we might put an intercom there and have a camera.
Yeah,
and just do a, person on the street.
Yeah,
hey.
Might bring people out on the streets in Flemington, too.
Well, we've had a lot of people stop already and take a look at what we're doing and wave at us and so forth. So, that's... It creates us, and all kidding aside, it creates a better sense of community.
Yeah.
If we're covering local events, if we're bringing local people in, like we had Janet in, we have you in, we'll have some of the politicians in and talk to them.
It'll be fun.
And see what they have to jabber at us with, and talk about relevant issues as well as fun stuff, and also get the word out about what's going on, because there's a lot going on in the area. It's pretty tough to access in one place all that information. So there's a lot to do. There's a lot of build-up that we have to do to get up to speed where we want to be, because there's going to be a lot of program content done every week. But so talk to me. Don't listen to me. Talk to me.
I love to listen. You're so interesting.
Yeah.
I'm just taking it in, Bruce.
What are you, a psychologist? Yeah, but I play one on the radio. Sit there and listen.
No, I think it's cool. I like watching, seeing things.
Well, you want to be a little closer to the mic if you are.
Well, I'm in a seat that's 25 feet.
All right, swing the mic over to you there, dear. That's why
can you hear me now?
No, you can put it.
Can you hear me now?
Pull the mic closer to you. That's fine.
Yeah, I got to get a more comfortable seat. We have to work
on
that.
Yeah. Because I don't want you too comfortable. You'll be falling asleep. You already fell asleep in your new car. You're lucky a trooper wasn't banging on the glass. Ma'am, excuse me, put the window down.
Anyway.
And then I'll give you a ticket for driving when you're impaired. I've heard of that happening. Somebody pulls over and goes to sleep, haven't been drinking, and, well, this weekend would be a perfect example. I mean, I was literally up for about 36 hours and hauling along.
Up to Michigan?
Yeah.
Yeah.
And you just got to pull over.
You have to pull over. But
it's dangerous.
Even people who drink and drive, there's people who have gotten in their car, and the fact they have the keys in their hand.
That's enough.
I
know someone who was arrested on Route 12, never left. Was at the bowling alley.
Yeah.
Never left the property. Went out, went to sleep in her car. Troopers came in like 4 a.m. and arrested her for drunk driving.
That's not.
It wasn't running.
She was doing the right thing.
And she's on private property.
Yeah.
You mean you can't sit in your car if you've been drinking?
So did they arrest her?
Yes.
I think it's within you have intent to drive. Which you have intent to go to sleep in your car to be safe rather than
Well, she said the place was closed. I came out here and went to sleep because I knew I wasn't fit to drive. I didn't go on the road. You didn't stop me for driving. Hell, go feel the engine. The engine hasn't even been started. Well, that's just pushing it, I think, a little far.
I agree.
I mean, come on. Nobody wants to be killed by a drunk driver.
Yep.
Or injured. But, my God, that's a little over the line.
Yeah. And it's a safety issue, too. You know, I mean, what's she going to do, sleep outside in the parking lot? You can't do that.
You're lucky I didn't have the car running. I could have froze to death out here. It was the middle of the winter. I was like, you're kidding me. Nah, she got 6 points or something for it.
I was in Frenchtown.
It wasn't in Frenchtown. It was up there on 12. Yeah.
I was there this past winter, and I was talking on my cell phone. And I was in the 25-mile-an-hour zone, which I didn't know, and I got pulled over further down the road, and the cop pulls me over, and he says, "You know why I pulled you over?" He was talking a few minutes. I said, "Because I was on my cell phone."
No, you were going 41.
He started shaking his head like, this woman is, I saw him in the rearview mirror walking, like, this woman is too stupid for me to even give a ticket. He's like, "You're speeding." I was like, oh.
Oh, okay. Well, then disregard the comment about the phone.
He didn't give me a ticket, though. He actually gave me a ticket for, this is a good one.
Seatbelt.
No, the light. No, I always wear my seatbelt.
Failure to
license
maintain.
plate was concealed by one of those out there, by like people put like Coast Guard or something around.
Hey!
Alumni.
Watch it.
You were in the Coast Guard, right?
Yeah.
Alumni. You know what they have the license plate.
See, here's why isn't the responsibility if a dealership puts that on there without you asking them to do it?
I don't think the dealership does.
Sure they do.
Let's see.
A lot of dealers do, but
they do. Look right there, Jersey Nissan.
Don't promote Jersey Nissan. This is the Flemington Park Cross Country Broadcast Center. Don't you dare promote another dealer. And by the way, theirs doesn't block. I'll tell you what. They're so strict in New York. If it's blocking 1 micro inch millimeter, the New York police will, NYPD or the state troopers will write.
But it is a good way to get out of a ticket. If there's nothing else to see, I was doing absolutely nothing else wrong besides speeding, talking on my phone.
But everything else, officers, all right.
Everything else is good.
All right. I wasn't doing anything but not wearing a seatbelt, speeding, talking on my phone, and weaving over the line, and I have bald tires. But I wasn't doing anything else, so give me the license plate coverage. I know a guy that he got one of them because he had slush all over it. It was in the middle of a snowstorm.
Really?
The back, he said, "Well, your back license plate is obscured." He goes, "What are you kidding me? I'm in the middle of a slush storm."
Yeah.
What, I got to put a wiper on the license plate?
Well, now you have to clean off the top of your roof, too. You see that.
Oh, that's another
one. The snow blocks that go
but
off.
here's the worst thing. It's the tractor trailers.
Yeah.
That's when you get the sheets of ice off a 53-foot trailer, and it will go through the windshield.
Well, that is scary. I got to tell you, I live off 78, and in the morning when I go, those trucks are taking off.
Yep.
Those coming off the sheets.
And you don't think those guys get up after sleeping in the parking lot and go up. What are you going to do? Go up there with a broom and walk around on the roof of the trailer?
See, now there's an invention.
There is.
See, I keep thinking there's got to be some other invention to come up with something that would.
I have some other ideas for businesses, and you talk about the wrap. I think there's some really cool business opportunities here.
Yeah.
Really
well, there's
cool.
a local guy here who lives in Flemington. He started the mobile truck washing.
Oh, really? Well, we used to use, when I was with National Mobile Television, when I did the sports trucks, we used Fleet Wash, which is nationwide.
That
and
might
they
be
come
him.
out now. He might be a local
His
franchise.
name is Phil.
He's Fleet Wash Phil. Maybe.
That's Fleet Wash Phil. There you go. Fleet Wash Phil.
Let me tell you, these poor guys would come out. It'd be like February. We're at the Meadowlands. And before we, listen to how silly this was, before we pulled the 2 tractor trailers into the loading dock down by the dumpsters for all day, we make these guys come out. It was like 8 degrees below zero with pressure washers mounted in vans and pressure wash the truck because it got all snotted up coming from the terminal and park it down there. Nobody saw it.
So why did they do that?
They did it every show. That was company policy.
Oh, so the truck looked nice.
Yeah, so if the client came down, if it was,
Oh, well, that's understable. I can see that. Yeah.
NHL came down.
Yeah, that makes sense. So you want your trucks to look pretty.
Yeah, it was like $180 a shot for that.
Yeah, but presentation is everything. I agree with that. If you were doing a show and the truck was all decorated on the outside.
Listen, the drivers used to polish the wheels and stuff, and I mean, the trucks were really pimped out. Yeah. So it was cool, but I felt bad for those guys.
They have those gamer trucks. You ever see those gamer trucks that they come up for the kids to play?
Yeah. I worked with them a couple times.
Yeah, those are awesome.
They're all wrapped.
Yeah. Oh, are they wrapped?
That's wrapped. Yeah, that's a complete wrap of the trailer and everything.
It's really easy if you look at it. Like, they make it look like it's a big deal. It's basically, they have a couple chairs and a bunch of TV screens. You just paint
and that's what, when we go on the road, eventually we'll have a trailer set up, so you just run the cameras out.
Yeah.
And we're looking forward, as soon as we can get the studio end of things sorted out and finalized. We're really looking forward to doing the sports because we did we produced a horse show, jumping, over in Bucks County a couple of weeks ago. Came out great.
Yeah.
Full HD.
Cool. Well, you're the man for that anyway.
Oh, no, I'm not the man.
Where did you learn to do all this? Seriously.
Well, believe it or not, I'm one of the few people I know, and you can correct me if I'm wrong because you're a college-educated person, who's actually working in the field that I was educated for. And I went to 100 Central. I was going to go into music full-time.
Yeah.
And I realized, I wasn't talented enough to do that.
What do you play?
Keyboards, right? For most of I still play bass.
Yeah.
And
that's
I've been playing. Yeah, I still play semi-professionally.
Really?
I've been playing since 5th grade.
Cool.
And keyboards, and then mallet percussion. I mean, I'm still a member of the Coast Guard pipe band and the Marine Corps pipe band. So
nice.
But I got hooked on broadcasting.
Yeah.
Actually, we put WCVH on the air, 90.5. So, I have a legacy, the only FM station in Hunterdon County ever, and it's still on the air, obviously. It was up in the back of the administration building back then.
Where is it now?
They have their own facility there between the freshman wing and the upper school.
Yeah.
But I got interested in it, and so I went right. I mean, I worked at WCRV up in Washington on Saturdays with Dave Kelber and some of the other guys that went on to go into broadcasting, and then I went to college for it.
Oh, okay. Well, that makes sense.
And then I've been doing it ever since.
And here
40 years.
Here you are, downtown Flemington.
And now, we're running our own. It was never feasible. I don't care how small. I have a girl, actually, a lady I dated, who, she was Miss New Mexico. Sandy Usry was her name. A very, very nice young lady who her and her husband have 5 or 6 radio stations. Small market stuff, in New Mexico and West Texas.
So do you keep in touch with this young woman?
I have spoken to her.
Okay.
Why do you ask?
Sparkle in his tooth? You could see it, bing.
No. But I ran into her about 10 years ago when I went out there.
Okay.
And but the point I'm making is that's a traditional brick and mortar scenario.
Yeah.
I mean, I don't care how small the station is, you've got to buy, you've got a lot of overhead for real estate, for equipment. You've got a limited number of, all of the, without getting too far afield, all the stuff that makes every business hard to deal with against the internet. The same thing certainly applies to us.
Yeah.
I mean, if you have, first of all, the interesting thing was that I worked at WCRV, which was an AM daytimer up in Washington. When you got down past Glen Gardner, the signal was pretty weak. It had a very small radius of broadcast area. We're in the whole world right now.
Yeah.
So how can you compete with that? And secondly, to maintain the real estate and the transmitter and the engineers and, the FAA making sure the tower lights are on and the insurance versus, there's thousands.
Why is there, I have to go pick up my daughter in a couple minutes. Why is there insurance on this?
Because we have liability. If you come in here and fall off that chair.
Oh, on that, which I probably will.
Because you've been sleeping too much.
No, but not for anything you're going to say or anything, right? Because it's in
well, there's all.
Not that we're planning on throwing out expletives.
No. The interesting thing is you're still liable for slander and defaming people.
Defaming people, but not just topics.
We're not. No. Topical stuff. The neat thing is, if you will, that we have much more First Amendment rights than we've been corralled into with traditional broadcasting, because there's so many people breathing down your throat. And that's why Howard Stern left. Of course he was provocative. So was Opie and Anthony. But if you see, here's the thing: when it's one thing if it's a public trust, and unfortunately, that I could discuss that. That's all gone away because in the FCC, where they always used to block you from owning more than any company owning more than one station, one AM station, and in big markets this could happen. You can't own all the media outlets because then you got one guy like Rupert Murdoch, or I don't care who it is, who controls all the public opinion in the news. The other issue is anybody could start a newspaper, so that's a different issue. But a radio, there's a limited number of bandwidth, so there's a limited number of FM stations and AM stations. Right. So it's a public trust. It's like saying there's only one right-of-way for the railroad. Right. You can't have 14 people saying, I want that railroad right-of-way. Yeah. It's the same type of thing. We don't have that restriction on the Internet. And what's come by is all of these control mechanisms in traditional broadcasting, as well as the expense, as well as the limited broadcast area. They can't compete. Yeah. That makes sense. I don't have to buy a transmitter. I don't have to spend $60,000 a year on electric to run a huge transmitter. But the insurance is liability that anybody. It's equipment. And if you're going to go on to into a school or into a you've got to carry indemnification. Right. So
okay, that makes sense. Yeah.
Plus, I don't want you breaking in here and stealing everything because I gotta have.
Because there's cameras everywhere.
That's right.
I have to go.
Well, listen, I want to thank you very much for coming on and being a guest on a very ad hoc basis. And for our folks around the world listening, especially you folks in Bosnia, this is Traci Parisi, and she's available to do home decorating, or she will work as a bartender or bartendress.
Sell your house? I can sell your house?
She has a real estate Who are you with, by the way?
Weichert.
Thank you. Weichert where?
Clinton.
And how did they get a hold of you, since this is a profile of your...
They can reach my home phone.
Well, I don't think you want to give that out.
My cell phone. I give it to every realtor has to be available 24 hours a day.
Yeah, always because available. You get those 3 a.m. calls.
That's right.
I gotta sell this place. So let me let you go. Thanks for being on.
Bruce, have a good day.
We will be working on a regular basis yet again. Thanks, Traci.
All right.
Appreciate it. And for all you folks out there, thanks for listening. This is Jersey Talk Radio. Bye-bye.
That's pretty cool. That's fun. All right, I gotta go. I gotta get Liv. I'll talk to you later.
Thank
we're
you.
gonna paint this black. Black.
I'm thinking, because I'll tell you what. It makes
It'll hide all the imperfection.
Exactly. It'll look high tech, and then I have to shroud all of the lights.
You could do the pillars red if